Am I correct, Mr. Weaver?
That would be the intent. The underline was to bring to your attention where things have been modified so it'd be easier for you to look at. It's not intended. It's not the intent to put those in the code.
Okay.
As far as your other questions, I don't have answers for them, sir.
Any further discussion? Mr. Baker?
Well, I guess it's a question to Mr. Weaver, too. I mean, are we doing away with, it's a substitute for the Chapter 608? Because it does have some things not in this one that's in our ordinance.
I'm aware there are things that are not. It was my understanding from the commission when they drafted their that they intended it to supplement the whole, or to supplant the entire thing, and to eliminate those other types of animals. And I stand to be corrected if I misunderstood them, but my understanding was they were looking at eliminating the possibility of anything other than these three types of domestic animals.
Mr. Pano?
So what you're saying is, if we eliminate the current 6.0801 condition of stables that, other than A zones, which is agricultural, people can then keep hogs, horses, mules, cattle, goats, or sheep in the city.
Cool.
Or rabbits.
Or rabbits.
Now their intent was to prevent all animals other than dogs, cats, and these three birds, except for small caged birds. Now, if I'm incorrect, it might be good to have one of the commissioners here, but that was my understanding is they intended to prevent monkeys, reptiles, anything else that might be normal kept.
I believe we have a commissioner still out in the hallway, don't
Well,
I don't know, do we?
I mean, we can pass this on its first
Yeah,
reading. We've
we
got
can.
sufficient time in the interim to
Yeah.
address any questions to the commissioners.
we?
Because under 6.12, it's eliminated an awful lot of sanitary officer inspections, following health guides that, with the way they wrote it towards the fowl, again, it appears that none of the other animals are going to be under an ordinance if we pass this as it's written. That we can keep horses, ducks, or horses, rabbits, all sorts of good stuff. Hogs, horses, mules, cattle, goats, and sheep in the city. Unless they want to make a new paragraph, 6.08, oh, whatever, other animals. And it's a foul ordinance, pardon the pun, but maybe the title needs to be changed.
Any further discussion? Not?
I have one other question,
Yes,
Mr. Mayor. It's also got the article in here about not feeding the deer. It's under 608. So we do away with that?
And the way it is written, it would.
Okay.
All right. Motion been made and seconded to approve on first reading. And no further discussion. Call for a roll call vote.
Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Dr. Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. Pownell?
I'm understanding it, we're still subject to change, right?
Yes,
Yes.
any tweaks? Thanks for calling.
Ms. Balance?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. DeVito?
Yes.
6-0.
Okay. No further discussion.
Mr.
Baker.
Mayor, can we send this on to the animal control officer and also the police and have them review it for comments?
Yes, sir, I believe we can.
And back to planning to address whether or not they intend to leave out all the other animals.
Okay.
I know the title was written 18 months ago for fowl, but with the way they numbered it, they've eliminated all the animals.
Ms. Alexander?
Something that's just occurred to me is I used to keep domesticated rabbits, house rabbits, and they are the number 3 house pets in the United States next to dogs and cats.
Those are really
as
good to eat.
pets. Just occurred to me and wonder if that should be in the language of this. Don't know.
Does the council want it in there? That's why we're in the prep
It is
stages
a
of this thing.
domesticated animal, and if this is including defining those animals that can be kept legally on city limit property.
That's why I brought up the numbering, eliminated 6.0802 number of animals, that
Yeah.
rabbits and chickens and geese and ducks, and or 6.0801 keeping of horses, mules, and then also in 02 eliminating rabbits. I think it also needs to go back to planning for just a little bit of tweaking.
Is this an amended motion or it's an addendum to?
Somebody recommended that it go back to.
Was going to animal control officer, and then the other one, you made the recommendation, go
Was
back
that
to
a
planning.
motion?
It was not. It was a suggestion.
Just a suggestion.
I'll make the motion to send it back to planning to address the issue of rabbits as pets and the issue of feeding the deer.
Motion made and seconded to send it back to planning to address the deer issue and rabbits as pets. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Made and seconded again. All right. Any further discussion? All right. Vote on that one, I guess.
Can we do voice?
Yeah, we can do a voice poll. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? No. All right. Motion carried.
Thank you.
So shall it be. All right. Next on the domestic, or got me looking at the wrong thing here. Next is a discussion of a concerned citizen email. Mr. Pownell was the lone ranger on this one. He didn't have a second sponsor. What is the wish of the council?
Didn't have any other accusers.
Mr. DeVito?
I thought we addressed the issue about is it the metal carports?
Yeah.
It's the issue of the email. That's why I requested it be left on.
Okay.
Yes, that part was settled.
Okay.
There was some issues within the email that addressed enforcement.
Okay, he doesn't have a second, so
Second?
it's a second to get it on here.
No,
There wasn't a second to get it on here. I know it was carried over from last time, but
It's been carried over and over and over since before it was determined that 2
I'll
council
accept the
people's
second.
names
Ms.
had to
Bounce
be
from
on
the second,
here.
we'll
Yes,
deal
sir.
with it. All right. Any further discussion on it? All in favor, say aye. I'm sorry, discussion, go ahead. I'm ahead of myself here. Trying to get this
The
thing
original,
done.
as Mr.
Before
DeVito stated,
9:30.
the original question came on the allowability of carports, metal top carports, and they pointed out several places within town, Cree Bay, along Roddy Beaver, different places, and we did address that. One of the main reason that I wanted to leave it on the agenda is there was and has been discussion in the past that, for example, the Planning Commission needs to do more enforcement of their regulations. Planning is not an enforcement body, and at one time it was even stated that council is not an enforcement body. And I complimented in an email back to the individual whom is only known as a concerned citizen with an Yahoo email address. Basically, I said, Let me begin by thanking you for contacting city officials with your concern. However, in researching the code, I'm at a loss for finding anything disallowing carports. Going through the HDC process or the building official process might trigger some reaction, but I can't find it. Also, council members are not enforcement officers, and I have tried many times while I was on planning in particular to have ordinances equally enforced. To no avail. For the most part, the building official and the police are the only entities that can enforce laws in Eureka Springs. I will attempt to bring this up for discussion at tomorrow night's council meeting. And if you would care to attend and address this, I appreciate your support and effort, and that was dated March the 2nd. A point of clarification in the code, it says that the chief of police shall be the executive officer and shall have direct control and management of all members of the department. He shall be responsible for the maintenance of order, the enforcement of laws, ordinances, and regulations in the city, prevention of crime, protection of life and property, and it also goes in state code. So bear with me just a second. Contrary to a comment that council members are not enforcement authorities, that a decision regarding elected officials, including city council, mayor, members of the council, or other elected officers, the enforcement of the laws rests on the mayor, police, judge, and other elected officials. And this was in an Arkansas case. Sounds like a former councilman's nonfeasance argument, but that's where it was covered. So basically, the only thing I'm saying to the public is, yes, thank you very much for pointing out the thought of violation, but unfortunately, council members do not carry around ticket books, and the only thing we can do is request that the proper authorities, whether it's the building official, police, or whatever, do act upon the citizen concerns. And I am really, and this is strictly an opinion, I am really tired of the comment that is being made, if you aren't part of the family and friends plan in Eureka Springs, then you aren't going to be tasked with anything that you do wrong. And all I'm asking for is equal enforcement for all the citizenry.
Any further comments, discussion? Okay, thank you.
Move to take a 10-minute recess, please.
Second one tonight.
Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
10 minutes is too long.
Aye.
Aye. 5 minutes.
For discussion.
5 minutes. Be back at the table.
I move for 10.
5.
5.
I move.